What's up everyone, registered dietitian Kara Corey here. Welcome back to the channel, and for today's video we are going to bust some nutrition myths. I went to the Insta stories and asked you guys what nutrition myths you're still hearing about that you would like me to discuss and hear my thoughts and opinions on them. And I also asked you guys what are your favorite videos of mine right now, so I have all those requests written down. And I know a lot of you love the dietitian talks where I do go a bit more in depth. So based on some of the stuff we discussed today, I'm probably going to be doing some upcoming dietitian talks as well. So with that being said, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and also hit the little post notification bell as well. That way you guys are notified each and every time I upload, which I'm usually here a couple times a week to hang out with you guys. I haven't looked at what you guys have asked me yet, so this is going to be totally off the cuff, just going to go through and kind of rapid fire answer or discuss as many of these as possible. All right, the first myth is bodybuilders thinking you need 8 million grams of protein. I love that one because that is a total myth. We do oftentimes hear of bodybuilders consuming very extremely high amounts of protein, and it honestly depends on the individual person. The general recommendation for protein is anywhere from 0.8 to 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. So I want to just put that out there. That's kind of your basic needs that we're taught as dietitians going through college. However, it's really going to vary based on your activity level, your gender, and what your goals are in terms of that actual protein need. So that protein recommendation I just gave you is really what is needed for adequate protein consumption. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's optimal if you are someone who's a bodybuilder looking to gain muscle. And again, it's really going to depend on what stage of life you're at. Our protein needs are going to vary based on our age. So no, you don't need as much protein as you generally hear. Sometimes I work with clients where they come to me and they're eating, like 2 grams per pound of body weight, which is way more than you need. Oftentimes you hear 1 gram per pound of body weight. I do find that that's still a little on the higher end, but it's not so high that it's gonna likely cause any dangerous medical side effects. This is going to depend on you as a person, what your blood work looks like, and what your medical history looks like. So it is very individualized, but yeah, we don't need as much as them big bodybuilders say we need. That you can out-train bad eating habits. You really can't, you guys. I don't know if that's a common myth or not, but you really can't. I know I used to struggle with the mindset if I was going to eat something quote unquote bad. Previously, when I had that type of mindset around food, I would try to out-train it. I would try to, make sure I did more cardio, or I would do like excessively long runs to kind of work off that bad meal. And that's just number one, a super bad mindset to have and very harmful with your relationship with food. That could potentially lead you to that yo-yo dieting, that binging, restricting, evil cycle. Also, if you are someone who does have aesthetic goals and say you are training for a bodybuilding competition and you screw up on your diet one day, you can't really out-train that to compensate, and that's something that occurs a lot. And clients will ask, what do I do now? Should I up my cardio? And I usually say no, because you can't out-train it. There is no ability to out-train, and that's why oftentimes we do see folks in the gym year to year who look exactly the same. That's fine if that's your goal, but a lot of times it's because the real changes happen with your diet versus exercise. Celery juices and juices in general. Celery juice, I know I've discussed this a little bit before, and I had some celery juice fans come on out. Look, bottom line, drinking celery juice, I don't see that that's going to cause any physical harm to your body. So if that's something that you have in your morning routine that you find makes you feel better, start your day better, it's clearly going to provide you with a great source of hydration. So maybe you are seeing some benefits from it, from the mere fact that you're waking up and starting your day getting hydrated. Do I believe it's a miracle? I don't. I'm sorry to the medical medium. I don't believe it's a miracle. I think anytime we see that foods or drinks or even supplements are advertised as this miracle magic wand, that's a red flag for me as a dietitian, because there is no one thing that's gonna fix everything. In terms of juices in general and juicing, I mean, honestly, I think it's all about just the moderation with it, because depending on what juices you're drinking, what you're having, are they high in sugar? Yes, because most fruit is naturally high in sugar. So I think it's just about how much you're consuming of it. Again, it's not going to provide you with any miracle health benefits, but it may be a great way for you to kind of pump in a good source of vitamins and minerals if you're struggling to get them through your diet by eating them. So I don't count it out. I don't tell people they can't have juices. It's really just finding the balance with it all. I got a ton of you guys asking me about fruits and sugar, that sugar is always the enemy, even in fruits and vegetables. The myth that fruit sugar is as bad as processed sugar, bananas have too much sugar, sugar is bad, sugar is going to make you fat. So you get the point. There is so much stigma out there still surrounding sugar, and in particular with fruits. I see a lot of fruit shaming going on still, which is really crazy to me. My general advice for you guys is to not worry as much about the sugar, especially when it comes to fruits and vegetables. I don't know how many people I see and I'm eating a banana at work or an orange. Oh, it's a lot of sugar, isn't it? But then they've got like a friggin' Big Mac for lunch. And I'm like, you're really critiquing me because I'm eating nature's candy right now that's providing me with a good source of nutrition? It's always weird to me, the things that we kind of focus on, and for so many of us, we get so hyper focused on things like sugar grams and is it processed or not, and we can't even stick to it anyways. We make it so overly complicated in our minds. Bottom line is, you should be eating fruits and vegetables. That is a stance I will not change on. I will take that one to the grave with me. You will not see me change my mindset here. You should be eating fruits and vegetables. And I'm gonna go as far to say, I don't care if you're eating the higher sugar fruits and vegetables either. So yes, some fruits and vegetables have more sugars than others. But what I often see is people don't eat enough fruits and vegetables anyways. So focus on getting those in your diet, whether it's from bananas and mangoes or corn and peas, which are your starchier, high sugar ones. At least start with getting them in your diet. Those are likely not what's going to make you gain weight. Those are likely not what's not causing you to be overweight or obese. There's probably more to the equation than the sugar in your diet and the fruits and vegetables in your diet. Now, if you're someone that is a competitor, if you're someone who is trying to get to that extreme level of leanness, will the amount of sugar make a difference in your diet and how you look? Maybe. I'm not saying you should be eating Snickers bars all day long every day, so don't get me wrong there. But I just think we're focusing on the wrong aspect of sugar, and you shouldn't be as concerned about the fruits and vegetables that you're eating. I also got several of these. Eating late is bad for you right before bed. Eating carbs after dark is bad for you. Someone asked if eating after 6 p.m. is bad for you. Late night eating late at night makes you gain weight. Total myth, you guys. There is definitely a myth in terms of meal timing, and I think we're almost giving mealtime too much credit in this example. It really doesn't make that much of a difference. Now, some may argue, well, if you're less active in the evening, you should eat less. At the end of the day, when you gain weight or when you lose weight, it's not about the timing of the day that you eat. Some people prefer to eat more late at night based on their schedule, based on when they work out, based on how active they are. What's going to cause you to gain weight? Generally speaking, we all know at this point there's a lot that plays into weight gain and inability to lose weight, but it's the calories that you consume and just consuming too many overall. So if you're consuming too many calories, it doesn't matter if you're having them at 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. I think it's a matter of looking at what works best for your lifestyle. And I know for me, I wake up early and I train first thing in the morning, so I'm hungry from the get-go when I wake up, and I prefer to eat larger meals earlier in the day. That's just a preference because that's what makes me feel better and does lead me to feel more satisfied at nighttime, because nighttime can be where we struggle, right? That's where many of us struggle with overeating, getting into the cupboards and the fridge, and we kind of like can't turn that button off and just stop for the night. I think that's where more of us have the issue. It's not because we're eating later at night, it's because that's when folks tend to overeat. And how to work with that, what I tell people is to start your day with a good breakfast. Many of us are not doing that. Many of us can easily ignore our hunger and our appetite when we first wake up. We've got a lot going on. We have work for the day, and you can really easily ignore your hunger cues. But then at nighttime, you get home, and that's when it hits. So I think people confuse the two, that late night eating equals weight gain, when really late night eating sometimes is just when we tend to overeat. So there are strategies you can put in place to work with that, but I do want to emphasize that that is definitely a myth. You can eat carbs after dark. You can eat whatever time you need to if your body is requiring food. This is a good one, that us petite and short girls are doing damage if we are cutting down to 1,300 to 1,400 calories. I do think that's a myth. It really depends on what your goals are in terms of, are you trying to lose weight actively at 1,300 calories, or are you maintaining there? Everyone's metabolic needs are different. And for all the lovely FITSPOs who are 21 years old, shaming people that do have to eat 1,300 calories to lose weight, I hate to break it to you, but the aging process, it is a real thing. And the older we get, our metabolism does change, regardless of activity level. It is part of life and aging, so things do slow down. You have to either work a little harder, to kind of stay on top of that and prevent weight gain as we are aging. But, everyone's metabolic needs are very different. I'm a very petite person. I'm a very small build. I do feel like I've been able to increase my maintenance calories with not dieting. Taking a couple years off competing has done my body good in terms of where I'm able to maintain at. But that's also because I've worked hard and actively to add lean mass to my body. So the more lean mass you have, the more metabolically active you are as well. So everyone's different, and I don't think people should be shamed for that. I think everyone's metabolism needs are different, and they're impacted by so many things. Maybe you have PCOS, maybe you have thyroid issues, maybe you're struggling with really high cortisol levels or inflammation. So there's so many different things going on there. It's really a whole intricate spider web almost of issues that are all interconnected and all impact your ability to lose weight at what calorie level. It's never a simple formula. We can use our online calculators as a base, as somewhere to start, right? But it is so special and individualized for each and every person. So no, you shouldn't feel wronged or shameful because you have to eat 1,300 calories. Is that a lot of food? No, but it's really not that uncommon for very petite people. And I think social media and certain coaches, if you will, if I want to get on a tangent here, I think it's a marketing scheme. I'm going to be honest with you. I think people like to put out there that they eat 2,500 calories, they don't ever gain a pound, they look slim and slender and toned all year round. Work with me, I can coach you, and you can eat like this too. And I guarantee you half those people don't eat 2,500 calories. They maybe even eat half that amount. So I hate to be a negative Nancy about it, but I caution you with what you see on social media that does kind of make you feel bad. Like, oh, I can't eat that much and lose weight. Honey, guess what? They probably aren't eating that much either, maintaining the weight that they're at. So just kind of put things in perspective and remember you're not always seeing the full, true, accurate picture on social media, especially with folks who are making this their livelihood and their business. And at the end of the day, it comes down to making them dollars, honey, and it's a saturated industry. Fasted cardio is better for you. I haven't looked at any current research on that, to be honest, but last I had really looked at, it really didn't make that big of a difference. And so even with competitors, I don't think fasted cardio is necessary. I usually tell people, do what your preference is. Do what makes you feel the best. Do what's best for your lifestyle so that you're able to be consistent with it, because I think consistency and adherence are more important. I don't believe I've seen anything where it's that incredibly different in terms of the metabolic effect, in terms of the fat being burnt, not to my knowledge. So I wouldn't kill yourself thinking you have to do fasted cardio. If you're working with a coach and they tell you that's what they want you to do, then maybe question them and ask them, if there's a particular reason. And if it's something you're not able to adhere to, then again, be open and honest with your coach. And another biggie I see in my responses is carbs are bad, keto is good. I think most of you that follow me by now know that I don't personally feel carbs are bad for you, and I don't think keto is a one-fits-all approach for people. I think it is a fad diet, and I stick by that stance. Look, carbs, proteins, and fats are 3 main macronutrients. We need all of those in our diet. Each and every one of us is going to find something that works a little bit better for us than the next person. So I'm not throwing shame at you if one approach works for you and doesn't work for someone else. Keto's been working for you and you feel like you can maintain that till the end of time and you have no nutrient deficiencies, your health is checking out perfectly, then I'm not throwing shame at you. I, however, don't prescribe that. I really am against fad dieting and just the diet culture attitude that we have to eat one entire way. It is very individualized, and there's even genetic testing that can be done now to show you what different SNPs you have that really dictate whether your weight loss is better with lower fat or higher carb or what have you. Everyone's body and genetic makeup is a little bit different, so what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for the other. However, I usually do start out with my clients with more of your basic approach with moderate carbs, fats, and protein, kind of a good split of each of those, and go from there and adjust things and see how people feel. It also depends how you feel. I know myself, I've done very high fat before, and I don't lose weight on very high fat, but regardless of attempting to lose weight, I just didn't feel good. Digestively, my stomach constantly was hurting. It felt distended. It wasn't the right fit for me personally. So I would like to answer this question and to give you a takeaway for those of you who are pissed that I'm not like a big promoter of keto or any diet for that matter, whether it's paleo or South Beach or those random crazies still doing Atkins. I'm just not a big advocate for feeling like you have to put yourself into a tiny box and fit into a diet label. It's hard to figure out what works for each and every person. So instead of worrying about what Johnny Smith's doing that's worked for him to lose 80 pounds, focus on you, focus on what you think is realistic for you, and not just for 4 weeks till you hit bikini season. Think about what's realistic for you to maintain for the long term, because when you don't, when you don't and you can't adhere to it, it can be detrimental how it impacts you, not only physically, not only with the fact that we know folks who can't maintain a diet tend to gain back not only all their weight, but plus some, but also the mental aspect of that. How challenging it is to lose all that weight and to then gain it back and more. It mentally can be so harmful to your body image, to your self-confidence, and we know when those things feel harmful or feel less than adequate, it impacts all other areas of our life. It impacts our career, it impacts our family and our relationships. So yeah, that sounds a little severe, but you guys need to think about that. Regardless of your age, you need to think about what's going to work for you long term. And I wish you all the best of luck with that. It's not easy. I don't know what else to say. Even as a dietitian, it's not easy. We don't always all have it figured out ourselves. So it's definitely something to be patient with. All right, guys, I tried to answer and discuss as many of your nutrition myths as possible. I hope you found it helpful. I hope I gave you maybe a little bit different of a perspective on how to think about things. If you guys do enjoy these videos, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It lets me know what videos you do like. Comment below if there's any myths I didn't touch on that you maybe want me to discuss in upcoming videos. And also make sure you follow me on Instagram, Karakori Fit Life. Over there, I tend to do a lot of polls and get ideas for videos. So be sure to follow me there, and I will see you guys in the next video.